Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the fifth part of The Wreck of the Duchess Land by Hopkins. Come, let's go to the video. In standard 26, he says, for how to the heart's cheering. Now, why the heart is cheering is the nun is now visualizing Christ coming towards her and she is asking him to come quickly to her. And so, her heart is just cheering because it is something which she wanted all through her life. The down-dug, ground-hugged grey hovers of the jay-blue heavens appearing of pied and peeled May. So he says, though they are in the storm, though the waves are beating on the ship, though the wind is very strong, though the heavens are also appearing as though they are peeled, but her heart is filled with cheer because she is able to see Christ coming towards her. And then he continues saying, blue beating and hoary glow height or night still higher, with belled fire and the moth soft milky way. So he says, though everything around her is showing its arrogant nature towards her, and though the night is not yet over, she is able to feel the cheer in her heart because she is seeing Christ. And then Hopkins questions, what by your measure is the heaven of desire? So he says, what is your idea about heaven? See, heaven is something which your heart is desiring. But actually, how is heaven? Do you know that? And then he says, the treasure never eyesight got, because heaven is a treasure, but no one in this world would have seen it. So it is something which the eyesight has never got, nor was ever guessed what for the hearing. So we also don't know why there is a hearing. Like after death, if you are going to go to heaven, when you are selected to go to the heaven, then why should there be a hearing? So these are the questions that Hopkins puts forth in this 26th stanza. Now in the 27th stanza he says no. So he says, so whatever I thought would have gone in the nun's mind, I don't think it would really happen. But it was not these. So he says, no, I don't think it is, these are the reasons for her to call Christ to come to her quickly. The jading and jar of the cart, time's tasking. He says the time is going very slow. Because they are all suffering. When you are suffering, you will feel as though the time is going very slow. So same way when they are all caught in the storm, it is as though the time is going very slow. It is fathers that asking for ease of the sodden with its sorrowing heart. So everyone are in sorrow. So they want to ease that sorrow. They want to get away from the sorrow. Maybe because of that, she is asking Christ to come quickly to her. Not danger. See, this is at the beginning, if she had cried, Christ come quickly, maybe we can take it as though she is afraid of the danger, so she is calling Christ. But now they have experienced this for quite some time. So it is not danger. Or electrical horror. Electrical horror he would have mentioned because there was light and thunder there. Then further it finds the appealing of the passion is tender in prayer apart. And they are all praying. So they have a feeling that God will definitely come and save them. So what is the reason for her to call Christ to come quickly to her? So he says, maybe there's another reason I gather. So he's saying, I'm guessing the other reason also. In measure her mind's burden, in wind's burly and beat of indragant seas. So he says, maybe they are in this storm, in this ship, in this condition, suffering for a long time. So the burden in her mind would have made her to cry out to Christ to come quickly to her. So these are the guesses made by Hopkins when he says that she cried out loudly to Christ to come quickly to her. Then in stanza 28 we find that the lines are all broken. So we can take into account that Hopkins would have entered into a trance, because this is what many critics have said. Maybe he started experiencing the same pain which the nun had undergone at that time. And it should be remembered that Hopkins himself said that the nuns experienced the same pain which Christ experienced when he was crucified. So we can also take that Hopkins has gone to that state where he was experiencing the same pain what Christ experienced when he was crucified, and therefore the lines are all broken. And here Hopkins writes, but how shall I make me room there? So he says, how will I be able to find out the real reason why they are like this? Reach me fancy, come faster. Strike you the sight of it. Look at it loom there. So he says, maybe she has really visualized it, or maybe it is an imagination. I am not able to say. But I can understand that she is in real pain because they know they are nearing their end. They know it is their doom, but at the same time, they don't know when it will end. Even if it's death, when is the death going to come to them? It is better to die early than to suffer this agony. Think that she, there, then, the master, ipse. Ipse is a Latin word which says himself, and here himself refers to Christ. The only one, Christ, King Head. So she is calling to Christ. So she is in so much of agony that she can visualize God coming towards her, and she is asking him to come quickly. He was to cure the extremity where he had cast her, because he is the only person who can cure her from this extreme state, because he only has created this extremity, and he is the one who has put her in that extremity. So only he can cure her from there. He is the only person who can save her also. Do deal, Lord, it with living and dead. So it's the same way Lord deals with the living or dead. So he says no one else can come and save them except Lord. Let him ride her pride in his triumph. So even if she is going to die, she is going to die in pride, and he is going to ride her in his triumph. So he is also victorious and she is also victorious, because this is what she wanted. This is what she was praying for all her life, to go to Christ, her lover. Dispatch and have done with his doom there. So let him do it. Let him complete the task, and that is why she is asking him to come fast to her. So she is saying, Christ, come quickly, quickly. Then in stanza 29 he says, there was a heart, right? There was a single eye. So single eye means you are seeing only one vision. So now she is not able to see anything else except Christ. Read the unshapable shock night and knew the who and the why. So now she knows what happened in this night, why it happened, and who is the person who created all this. Wording it how, but by him that present and past. Wording is reading. Now she is able to understand why Christ has done all this, and why Christ has done all that in the past also. So the present and the past is already written, and what has already been destined for her only is happening to her, and so she is able to understand everything now. Heaven and earth are worded by. So whatever happens in heaven and earth, everything is already destined. The Simon Peter of a soul. Simon Peter is a person who saw Christ walking on the water, and his faith also made him to walk on the water and reach Christ. This is a Bible story, and so he says, he brings that reference here to the blast Tarpeian fast. Tarpeian is a rock in Rome where executions used to take place, and later on the capital was built there. But a blown beacon of light. Beacon of light is a light which burns brightly even in a strong wind. So he says the faith is so very strong that even when you are put in danger, your faith will never leave you. Like the beacon of light will never get blown out in a strong wind. In fact, it will burn more brightly. In the same way, all this danger, all the suffering only made her to improve her or increase her faith in God. She believed in God more, and she believed that Christ is doing all this only to take her with him earlier. And now in stanza 30, he says, Jesu. Jesu is a short form of Jesus, where people will passionately or very friendly way they will call Jesus as Jesu. Heart's light. Jesu, maid's son. Maid is actually Mother Mary. What was the feast followed the night thou hadst glory of this nun? So he is asking, so what feast did you have to give this glory to this nun this day? Feast of the one women without stain. Actually, this can refer to 7th December, because 7th December is said to be a day before 8th December. And women without stain again refers to Mother Mary, because without any sin she conceived Christ. And for so conceived, so to conceive thee is done. See, Mother Mary conceived you without any sin, and the same way this nun also has not done any sin in her life. Therefore, she is able to conceive you, that is, see you. The first conceive is Mother Mary physically conceiving Jesus in her womb, and this second conceive is the nun conceiving, able to see Christ in front of her. So he says she is able to see you because even she has not committed any sin. But here was heart through, birth of a brain, word that heard and kept thee and uttered thee outright. And he says, this conceiving you in front of her, as though Christ is walking in front of her in the water, is the birth of the brain. It is what her mind is showing her, and all that has been done because she had heard and she has kept Christ and she has uttered only Christ's name, and therefore she is able to see Christ in front of her. So this is what he says till stanza 30. The remaining part we will see in the next video. If you have anything more to add on to this, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. And while subscribing, don't forget to press the bell button. Only then you will get the notification of all my videos when I post them. Thank you.